Perhaps that's what people misunderstand on you, being distant, being snob.
I decide who I want to talk to or not. All right, Ντίμιταρ Μπερμπάτοφ.
So Dimitar, it's I don't know if you know this trend in social media, this 10 years challenge started in 1st of January 2016. Do you remember your 2016 January?
No, you're gonna remind me probably. So go
I'm
on.
gonna remind you that you were in Thessaloniki, PAOK player.
Okay.
I don't know what type of memory is this for you, but I'm pretty jealous that you look the same, or even younger.
Well, I told you the right eating, the right habits, because everybody wants to live as long as possible. I am the same. I need to give example to the young people, to the people I talk to, the kids from my foundation where we actually right now, and I still play football. So when I go to play some charity games, I need to represent, right?
And you play a lot.
I do.
Charity games.
I do. I play a lot. We enjoyed it because it's football. This is my forever love, and I will do it as much as I can when I can, if I have the chance. And right now it's about these charity games when we go with United or Spurs. Hey, PAOK needs to do something like this, you know. I need to give it and tell it someone. Tell me who I need to tell and tell them.
Actually, it's the 100 years anniversary of PAOK this year, and I believe they're gonna need some.
Look, every big club in the world, but in this case, the clubs that I used to play, if they have rich history, big fans like PAOK is, they should think about stuff like this because it's good for the ex-players to feel connected, to see each other from time to time. It's good PR for the club. When you play a different team as well, you can raise money for a charity or for something, you know, it's a good cause. So, you know, someone needs to think about it and then invite me as well.
So you were born 81 in Blagoevgrad, right?
Yeah, a long time ago. And as I said to the young players or boys or girls, I tell my kids, time flies. I was yesterday playing for United, for Spurs, for PAOK, for CSK, for Leverkusen. I was enjoying myself. I was young, with my hair flying, scoring goals. Now I am at a different stage of my life where I'm proud when I look back to see what I achieved, but I cannot, you know, turn time. It is what it is, and you know, now different chapters in my life.
You have this fame, this gossip around you that you are not a hard worker on the pitch, but on the same time, the guy I met 10 years ago in PAOK was ahead of his era in terms of using gym a lot, working with his body a lot, working with his muscles a lot, with mobility exercises that back then was not very usual for players. Right now, I believe most of them are having a routine, a pattern of working like this.
Which is a good thing. They need to have it. And my way of playing football sometimes was misunderstood, but now it's even more appreciated because obviously sometimes this is how life works. You need to stop doing what you're doing, some time to pass, and then when you look back, you realize, okay, this guy, whatever he is, he used to play football in a different way, more beautiful way. Maybe he was ahead of his time a little bit in some of the way he saw football, because for me, football first and foremost is art form and entertain. Of course, the irony is that in this art form and to entertain, you need to do it to win though. The win is the most important because with wins, you win trophy. When you stop playing football and look back, you need to have something in your cabinet, a trophy, a medal, something to show your kids, your friends to be proud of as well. But if you can do it all this together, like winning in a beautiful way, poetry in motion, you know that thing, then you'll be entertaining your fans, the people around you, and you're going to be winning games and you become a legend in a way. This is not happening all the time because life doesn't work like this. Sometimes you win ugly, 1-0 or whatever. But if you wanted to do it properly, this is the form. Beautiful football, entertain, but with a purpose to win. That's what I used, or at least try to do back in the day.
So you are a deep person. You have deep knowledge of what we are talking about right now. You have a deep knowledge about what your body needs. You have a deep knowledge of how football should be. A kid born in Blagoevgrad in 80s, in Balkan 80s. I know how it is.
Yeah.
I come from countryside of Greece, so I really know how.
But we're the same, man. Greece, Bulgaria,
Trivia question for the viewers, for you. What was until 1950 the name of Blagoevgrad?
Yeah, Gorna Jumaya. Or, you say it in English, Upper Jumaya.
And yes, and you were born in 80s there, so I can imagine how life was, how you were a boy playing in the fields, in the plots, perhaps barefoot. I don't know how you remember your early childhood football experience.
No, it's me and the ball. That was it. If someone want me to explain my childhood, it's like me and my ball. Obviously, it was a basketball back in the day. We didn't have a football. Although my dad was a football player, but the footballs were never present. So I had a basketball, a heavy ball, and me with the ball, with other kids. If there are no kids present, it's just me and the ball. I didn't care. Go out there, play. We have the garage doors. I imagine to be a goal. I imagine to have a goalkeeper and just kicking the ball against the garage. Obviously, now these days, I speak a lot about ball and the wall. So this was my first experience with ball and the garage door. Just kick the ball will bounce, will come back to you, you control, you stop, you imagining you scoring goals, you feel good about yourself, a kid, a proper kid, So this was my childhood. Then when I go to my village where my grandparents used to live for the summer, then I was able to go barefoot because back then, different times, and enjoy myself. Even to this day though, when I go to the sea, or to vacation, I always go barefoot because it's good for the muscle of the foot. This is how I also play with the ball these days. If I can give advice to some of the young listeners or people who are watching this, train barefoot as much as you can sometimes, especially to touch the ball, to feel the ball, to control the ball. You're gonna see the power of the ball. You're getting used to it. It's gonna hurt a little bit sometimes, but it's worth it. Trust me. So my childhood was like this: me and the ball.
This shaped also your philosophy. This formed your touch with the ball. Was it the reason your being happy to be alone with the ball formed you as a personality afterwards?
Yeah, because for me it was enough. Me and the ball, that was my girlfriend. This was me by myself with the ball. Sometimes if the ball was not present, it's just me by myself. Even then I was happy with that. I was self-sufficient in a way. I had no problem with me being by myself or alone, and it helped me in different and difficult times in my career as well. But in the beginning, me and the ball forming that relationship, going, kicking the ball, just finding out really early in my life what I wanted to do. That's very important for young boys and girls. Find out what you want to do early in life. This is monumental, to spare you time to look for things. And then when you're 17, you still don't know what to do. And you're like, what am I going to do with my life? No, find it early.
When did you find out? Do you remember the age?
As far as I remember, always. I don't remember going as far as back when I have memories to remember my childhood that I wanted to be something else. No,
not a fireman, not a doctor, not a pilot.
Nothing. Football, ball. Of course, maybe you can say it's because obviously my dad was a football player and my mom was a handball player, basketball player, a sport person, so sports family, and it was just normal to be passed to me in a way that this is 90% you probably gonna do this and 10% maybe something happens, something else. But for me, since early age, football, and it saved me from making a lot of mistakes when I was growing up. Like I was imagining being Van Basten and Alan Shearer and all these great players and scoring goals and people cheering my name. And this was my world.
Did you isolate yourself during the big games you played and feeling like a boy, self-sufficient with the ball,
Always.
wanting the ball alone.
Look, one of the reasons also I have a foundation for 18 years and we support talented kids. So if you have a foundation for kids, basically you're saying to the world, I'm still a kid, you know? And every time when I used to play or touching the ball or training session, for me was like me going back to Blagoevgrad and being that kid. If you truly love football, that's how it feels. You know, you just doing what you love, you can, you know, have fun, you can laugh, of course you can cry because football can make you cry, it is what it is, but you are in your element and you are happy because you're doing what you want. But if you keep that boy in you, it's going to help you through the difficult times as well.
I had some questions about how your football identity was formed, shaped, and how your personality was shaped, but more or less you are answering that this period shaped both of your sides.
Yes, but also with me, and this obviously is my journey and my story. Everybody have their different journeys and you know, trouble to go through, joy and, you know, crying and laughing. But for me, this, and also when I was 18, I had one of the most difficult periods in my career because now I was playing for CSKA, and you know, I missed a goal, we lost the game, title, everybody was on top of me, and this was the moment when I needed to decide, am I going to stand up and continue my journey, or I'm going to be surrendering and die, you know? So this was very important for me. I didn't realize it back then, but that shaped my character. And because I was, now when I was 18, but from the moment when I was 10 until 18, I was building a habit not to be afraid to be alone. Because when you're suffering, most of the time you're by yourself. Yeah, you can have good friends, good family, but sometimes you sit by yourself and you need to be strong. And because I was comfortable with myself, I was okay with that moment because I knew that I have the power to, you know, to go through that thing.
Perhaps that's what people around football misunderstand on you, being distant, being isolated, being snob.
Mm-hmm.
Someone could say. Do you believe it's that?
No, it's not. I'm just selectable. I decide who I want to talk to or not. Sometimes it's also vice versa. I would like to talk to someone, but he doesn't want to talk to me. Am I going to insult them and say, you a snob or you a what? No.
Did it ever happen?
Of course it happened.
Yes.
Come on, everybody have moments like this where you feel stupid or someone will show you that you're mistaken. But with me, it's more about me being in my element and concentrating and thinking deeply about a game, a mistake I made, how can I do better next time, did I do everything okay so the fans should be entertained, if not, what do I need to do next time? And most of the time my thoughts were going this way, and I wanted to use my time as I have as a football player not to miss anything and to reach my personal top. And because of this, sometimes I didn't have time to chat, chit chat and small talks and stuff like this, which has never been my thing, to be honest. You know, how is the weather? What did you eat yesterday? And it's not me. You know, I'm about, you know, let's do what we need to do, straight to the point.
You also had an experience that it's life-changing, according to my opinion. Mm-hmm. This pressure, this almost kidnapping of yours when you were playing in CSKA.
Balkan way, yeah.
Hmm?
The Balkans way.
The Balkan way, yes.
That's how it was back in the day. And kidnap, maybe it's a strong word, but in my mind, back in the day, it was pretty much the same, you know, because obviously I was 18 and now I was building my name. And, you know, sometimes back in the day, it was like not the civilized way of approaching someone and say, you're a good player, you're going to make you an offer, this is what you give you. It's like, no, you come here. You're playing for us now. No, please. No, come. So the similarity was like this. They brought me to a place, a big guy there sitting at the table, another big 5 or 6 behind him on a different table, and he was like sitting here, and I'm sitting, a small boy, just thinking what is happening in my mind is just, I need to call my dad, And the guy will start telling me, we like you as a player.
You cannot say which team.
It was team that Levski Kyustendil, who was wanted to do big things back then, because in charge of that team was a person who was very connected with the underworld. Obviously, he's not alive anymore. On CSKA, then was another similar person in charge. So maybe they were doing their things. My team is better than your team, and we're gonna take your best players. And this guy was telling me exactly this: we want you. We'll give you more money. You come to play with us. And I'm like, don't know what to say. When you're 18, you don't know what to say. And eventually they allow me to call my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I'm here at this restaurant. They want me to go to play on different teams. I want to stay in my team. And you know, when you're in a stress, you start bubbling and speaking really fast. And he was like, okay, calm down, calm down. Then eventually he called the president, and the president says, called the president of the other team, and they figure out something, whatever. And the guy, while I was waiting for all this, the guy was sitting here, I was there, and we just sitting in silence. And then say, go, you're free to go.
Having similar roots, my question is how this Balkan brutality produced such an elegant person, is such an elegant player.
When you drive with your car, you have the asphalt, right? Sometimes a flower can pop up. Now, this is how sometimes life works. Life is full of mystery and paradox and abnormality. And you know, my shaping of football philosophy sounds strange, yes, because when you put it like this, I was raised in a Balkan way of brutality and people being strong and silent, and it's like just speaking with the eyes, you know, stuff like this, or even kidnapping and etc. But not only that, because during this time of this happening, then maybe in my mind, I didn't know about it probably, but I was calculating and see what is happening and judging if it's right or not. And then automatically, in some sort of mind working, then I would judge what is right and what is not right. And sometimes that will help me on the pitch as well, when to be brutal, when to be more elegant. Also, when I travel with my dad to play or train in different teams around the region, in small teams, when he was almost 40, the players in these teams were working guys, you know, who will work every day of the week, but then two, 3 times they go train and then play amateur football. And I go train with my dad there. And back in the day, I go train, I go play with them, but they're big guys with scars, you know, tough people, like swearing
Constructors or
exactly.
Drivers.
And they kick the shit out of you. And I was like, oh my God, can you more easy, whatever? What did you say? What did you say? Come here. Bam! In the back of the head. You shut up and continue to play. And my dad is over there. He's acting, he's not my dad, because that's how you grow up. And then I shut my mouth and try to play. But this way, I become more stronger. Next time you kick me, or you try to kick me, now I know how to support myself and how to prepare myself for this. And then when time goes by, now after a while, I am one of the boys, because I learned my lesson. And now I'm more easy to play with them. And when I went to play for United on the other teams, and then in the tunnel, you have player lining up, and some from the other team were like, let's go, let's destroy them. And I'm like, do you know where I used to play? With what type of players I used to play? Probably some of the players were killers or kidnappers or whatever. You know, you're not gonna scare me, man. You know, this helped me in a way as well.
The opposition between your style and the Balkan style is Trifon Ivanov, the late one. So you see a character, you see a person, you see a body, you see a face, and you're afraid to play
against him. Yeah, exactly. These two type of players I used to play when I growing up around my dad. But then when you get to know this type of players, actually you see past the face and everything, and they are good people. You know, working people, hard-working people to provide for their families. But when you step onto the pitch, there is a different world now. You're not my friend anymore. I will kick. Maybe this is the way for them to realize and teach me that life is not that simple. It's not that easy, you know. Life is going to kick you. Life is going to put you to the ground, and then you need to find a way to get up.
So more or less, it sounds right now as a blessing if you want to become a top level football player, to start from this type of football, this amateur football, this village, let's say.
Maybe back in the day, maybe not anymore, because times are different now. Times are different, football is a bit different, players are a bit different. Now I don't think
character or personality is not so important anymore.
it's important, but you can build it in a different way. This is from my personal observation, going in and around the clubs, the players, Bulgaria, outside Bulgaria, because the behavior is different. Now, even if you're old school in a way and you play an amateur team, you cannot afford to do what you do back in the day. It's going to be different behavior from the young players, or the people around you will be acting differently. So times are different, and you need to adapt with times. You can still install all these type of things, but in a different way. If you're lucky to find soon in life what you like to be, what you like to do, but really love to do it, really love, it's going to be great for you. Does this make you lucky? Does this makes you blessed in a way? Probably, I don't know. But that's the fundamental of, you know, starting early in your life and build the right habits. If you're not like this, unfortunately sometimes life is like this, then probably you're going to have more difficulty to finding out your purpose in life. It doesn't mean you're not going to find it. Maybe later in life you're going to succeed more than someone who starts very early in life.
When did you actually understood that you're going to live from football, that you're going to earn enough money, enough fame from football?
Okay, now starting seriously, it's when I went to the first team of CSKA, because that was the signal. Like, all right, Berbs, you have something. Now it's time to prove it. This was the signal for me to, you know, start being even more serious, even more obsessed, you know. Then, of course, when I went to Germany and play, now I was thinking in my mind, all right, maybe I have something special here, you know, because now I'm in a different country, in a big team. I need to even more concentrate now and stay focused and stay, you know, persistence in what I wanted to achieve, because difficult times lie ahead of me. And then when I moved to England, now I was in the big league and starting to think about, okay, I can reach even higher now. You know, sky is the limit in sense of big teams, big money, you know, the big players, everything. So this was the process of this journey.
And you told me that you cannot remember when you decided that you are going to be a football player. You don't remember deciding anything else. You remember yourself always with the ball,
playing with the ball, yeah.
Following this path. But a person like this, a personality like this, a perfectionist like this, can never decide with the same internal knowledge that it's the right time, the retirement of football, to retire from football. Did it come naturally to you, or you had to push yourself to stop?
Yeah, I had to push myself to stop. My time to stop was long before when I actually stopped playing football. And I knew that, because your reaction time, you're moving on the pitch, some of the things that I used to do back in the day, I cannot do it anymore. Or I try to do it, but then I look stupid and slow motion, you know. So in my mind, I knew that it's time, and the time has come long before I decided to say stop. But again, when you love football, when you truly love football, you don't want to stop. You make fool of yourself on the pitch, I don't care. You're still on the pitch. You're with the boys. You want to play. You know, you want to give it one more go, because then you're going to score a goal, you're going to feel great. Or you're going to give a good pass, you're going to feel great. You know, that feeling of greatness in you. And that's why some of the players, they stop late in life because they truly love football. Sometimes you stop early. Sometimes you stop, of course, because of the injury or other circumstances, unfortunately. With me, I pushed it to the limit as far as I can, you know, hold. And when I wake up in the morning, to be like, okay, I'm ready to go. But when you feel that now you cannot do it anymore, then you need to stop, and then you die. Then, when I stopped, part of me died.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a heavy word.
Die. That's why I use it. You die, because then you wake up on the next morning, and for 20-something years you've done every time the same thing. You wake up, you go to training, you have the boys, you laugh, you train, you're serious. Then you go home, you're preparing for the next training, for the game. Now you wake up, what do I do?
How did you fill this gap?
I was ready, because as I told you, I sensed that my time was long overdue, and I was preparing myself to be ready for the moment when I wake up, and then I'll be like, what do I do? Of course, I had the moments of like thinking, okay, now is the new beginning for me. Now I need to reborn. I'm reborn again, and I need to know what to do. But it was difficult. It was difficult, but in the same time, it was easy because in my career, I achieved probably 95% of what I wanted to achieve. And this can save you from getting into depression when you stop playing football, or even worse, so alcohol or spending your money unwisely. Because if you didn't succeed because of the different factors in your career, when you stop or you're forced to stop, you look back with some regret and you can do nothing about it. And that can make you sad, depression, stuff like this. When you achieve more of the things you wanted to achieve, even when you stop, it's going to be difficult. But when you look back, you're going to be proud and good, and you say, I stopped, but at least I achieved what I wanted to achieve, my dreams. You know, if you dream in football, when I used to play, obviously football paid me back, because we live in a life where financial independence is very important. If you have brain and you know how to calculate and how to work with money, that's going to save you troubles as well after you stop playing football too, because you need to be smart. And it's not that easy, trust me. I still, now when we speak, day-to-day stuff, I'm in a period where I need to find which is my next mountain to climb. My part of my life with football is over.
As a football player?
As a football player. But now I need to look and find what I need to do next with love. And as you can see with our conversation and stuff, I'm still wondering, but I have the comfort of not rushing. I have the comfort of waiting because I achieve what I achieve, and football pay me back. So I can even sit and do nothing, but it's not a good thing. I tried it. I can drive my kids to school every morning, be a good father, be a good dad, but what do I do for me that make me feel alive and a man, and just do it with love and succeed, or at least try to succeed. So now this is what I'm looking for.
Let's say if you want to become a manager, you need to work for that. You need to be ready for that. You need to put an agent perhaps to propose you to teams. Did you enter in this?
In this conversation, not so far, but here we go. If people who are watching can hear, if someone have a proposition for me and liked what I'm talking about here, we can also make connection, because every football player thinks he can be good at coaching and manager, but which is far away from the truth. Because if you calculate and see how many great players, they try to become great managers, but they fail. The percentage is big. Then you have managers who never played actually football, or they've been so-so players, they become great managers. You see the irony here in football? Sometimes someone who has never been a professional player or reach heights in football that you actually reached, he can understand football better than you. So even in my case, it's not guaranteed that I will understand football. I can speak here and talk to you and give advice and sound smart, etc. But when you step onto the pitch, when you're full of room of 20 people with big egos, and you need to know how to act, then you need to know how to act actually, and you need to be ready.
And you being a person with not a big ego, but a big.
No, I have big ego. You're right.
No, I don't know. If you say so, I take you.
I don't show it most of the time, but when I need to show it, I show it.
A person with so many things achieved as a football player can start from zero in a new profession.
Well, that's very good questions. When you're a manager, if you're patient, how long are you patient? Are the team, the chairman, the president are going to give you enough time to be patient, to install your ideas? Because now, as we spoke before, the wins are most important, of course. So you need to win, to build time, to have time to spread your ideas around the team. Then, if you have been a big player, where do you start? Can you swallow your ego and start from a smaller team? Or you think you are good enough that you deserve to be the manager of United or Real Madrid straight away,
I want us to remember some things about ΠΑΟΚ. what do you remember from the approach of PAOK back then?
Well, I remember someone calling me early in the morning and telling me I am the secretary of Mr. Ivan Savvidi. I'm like, fuck off. I want to sleep. Early in the morning, something was happening back then. I don't remember, some crazy day. I was angry, I was pissed. I don't know what it was. And I was like, not in the mood, someone to talk to me. And it just, then the call me again. And I'm like, oh, look, just speak with my agent or whatever, something like this. And of course, obviously they did. Then the conversation started, etc., etc. And then that stage of my life, I remember actually wanted to play in England still. So me with my agent, we're going up and down, trying to find a way to go to England, because England is my love, you know, my success was there, biggest success ever. So we wanted to go there, but of course I realizing that I'm 35, maybe it's not possible, but hey, let's give it a try, right? Mm-hmm. And then this happened, and I was like, huh, interesting, and didn't expect it, of course. I didn't expect that call, that interest, that the thing happening. But then in the end of the day, obviously my family, Bulgaria, Sofia, close to the border, big team, Greece, son, you know, we are like brothers, I feel at home. And this stage of my career, my kids, I need to be close to my kids as well. So when you put all these things together as a package, and I say, all right, you know, let's do it. Let's do it.
Before you come, did you personally speak with Mr. Savvidis finally?
Let me think. Did I? Or did I not? I think I did.
You should remember if you had.
I'll be lying if I say I remember. I remember that phone call early in the morning, for sure. I don't know why I remember that. But speaking with him personally, don't remember, honestly, don't remember. But it doesn't matter, because obviously the interest was very real and very, we want you, you know, like, we want you, we'll call you, it doesn't matter how many times we call. So that's a good thing when you're a player, because you see that a team wants you. And after that, you know, it was easy to organize and, you know, go across the border.
And it was the first star player delivery by car.
Of course, it's 2 hours, 3 hours. I mean, come on, I love driving with my car, you know. It was a great journey for me, to be honest. And
our first meeting was in Borders. Our first meeting was me waiting for Mr. Berbatov's Bentley on the Borders, having talking with your agent Emil, that he speaks fluently Greek.
Yeah, and I see the guy with the long hair. I'm like, what is going on here? What is going on here? But then again, we go to the part where everything was organizing for me so nicely and unexpectedly. For me, I didn't know that it's going to happen. All of a sudden, I am in the stadium, in the dressing room, putting my shirt of PAOK. Emil is still not explaining to me what is going on. I am telling him, fucking tell me what is going on, I'm leaving, you know. And then he's like, there's some people here, you're going to do like this and that. And I'm like, now getting the picture almost, because I can hear noise, I can, you know, see people up and down going. And then, you know, obviously I'm walking up the stairs and go in front of a tumba in the stands and see so many people, and I'm like thinking to myself, I am gonna kill fucking Emil. You know?
But to be honest, Emil was asking a pretty much detailed email about the presentation by timeline to show it to you. So either he was making fun of me or he was making fun of you, but he was a great guy. I remember he was very protective to you guys.
Of course, because we worked together all our lives. He was like a father to me, and he knew me pretty well. So because of this, probably he didn't want to tell me the whole thing, because I was gonna tell him, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Not because I don't want to, and not because I don't appreciate. Everything was perfect. I never been welcome in a football team like this in my life. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. But because I'm coming from the Balkans, maybe from the beginning, like we discussed, small beginning, this and that, working families and people, and I'm like thinking to myself, do I deserve this? You know? I don't know why I was thinking this. Sitting there and seeing all these people and doing like this and enjoying it, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? Do I deserve this? Why? You know? the stuff like this that on my mind constantly.
Mr. Sαββίδης came to interrupt with the structure system of Greek football. He came to break some lines that were going back for decades. He came to make ΠΑΟΚ winning team. He didn't manage his first years to do so. His first trophy, his first present to the fans of Thessaloniki was you, and he wanted to celebrate this pride.
On my expense.
Yes, on his expense actually. He paid for it.
Yeah, for sure. But then I'm sitting up there and I'm thinking, oh, look at all these people, man. It's unbelievable, but I don't deserve this. You know?
And tell me something. Okay, it didn't go well. You told me, of course, by now that you have the knowledge, you have this self-critics that perhaps you were not in the level that you used to be. Okay. But that doesn't mean that you were not in the level of Greek Super League at that time.
Okay. Maybe yes, sometimes no. But I enjoy my time in ΠΑΟΚ, except the moments when I need to speak with the coach. Because the coach was shit in my mind. Which was strange, because he used to play at the highest level as well. He needed to know how to communicate with another player who used to be at the highest level as well, to know how to accommodate him, to know when to push, when not to push, when to have the breaks. Obviously that was not the case, and when something like this happened, and when I see that no respect shown to me, then of course in a situation like this I'm gonna defend myself. So that's the same situation that happened with me, happened with Ronaldo in second year at United. Exactly the same thing. That when the coach doesn't show you respect that you deserved and you earned with the way you play football, then trouble followed. And then Ronaldo needed to go to a different team. In my case, the coach was sacked. But it was the right thing to do because I don't think anybody liked him in the team anyway. But that's why I say sometimes you have good coaches, bad coaches, great coaches. Sometimes a bad coach can become a great coach or a good coach, because sometimes when you work with a bad coach, that is the moment that he is really learning to become a good coach. So maybe the momentum was not the right one, you know? So that's why football is like this. No right, no wrong answer. Momentum, be ready to know how to communicate. Again, going back to communication as a manager, you know how important it is when you manage big players. But if you put that aside, the fans, you guys, administration, everybody was so nice. In the place where I used to live in the hotel, the sea, the view, the people who are seeing the streets. I mean,
you like Greece?
Come on, I told you we're the same. We are like pretty much the same people. You know, our mentalities, our view of life, how we like life. You go to Greece, it's pretty much Thessaloniki is the same thing that we have here. So that's why I felt good. I felt welcomed. Of course, because I was 35, 36, sometimes I was not able to produce some of the things that people expect of me, injuries as well. This is not excuse. Of course, I wanted to do much better, but sometimes, you know, when you change teams, countries, a different approach from the coach, your age, all these factors, and sometimes leads to not doing what everybody will expect from you. For which I'm sorry and apologize, of course.
Yeah, you don't need to. I don't believe anybody would expect you to apologize for being yourself, for trying to do your best, even if it's not always possible. But on the same time, do you have any specific memories, any teammates that you remember, any talented guys that you did not expect to meet there, or perhaps some devastation that you did not meet any talent at all?
Where's Pelkas now? Where's Pelkas now?
Still playing in ΠΑΟΚ. He came back.
How old is he now?
31.
31. So he is 13 years younger than me. Because you asked me about talent, you can see he had the talent of knowing how to pass the ball, how to kick on the right foot with the right speed, going up, and when he need to score, you know. I like him straight away because I can see the talent, honestly. Now, did he achieve what he liked in his career as the talent he had? You need to ask him. But because you ask me right now and I to give you straight answer, that's why I tell his name, because first impression of him was like, ah, that kid, he can play. So for me, that part of my life was very enjoyable, to be honest, because as I said, close to my country, to my family, great people, great atmosphere at the stadium. I mean, sometimes when you used to play big teams, I mean, crazy fans and supporting the team. I was so happy when I left, and then I saw that PAOK won the cup, the championship, you know, that the progress that the team made.
I told you, you were the first trophy. Immediately next year, it came the first cup of the period of Mr. Sαββίδης, and after the league, 4 cups and 2 leagues.
To be honest, I regret it a little bit, because when I see you guys winning the cup and in the championship, I'm like, I wish I would be, you know, there when they win it, you know. But you know, sometimes life and football is not a happy end. But still, though, when I saw how everybody was celebrating and Sαββίδης as well, what it meant to him, all this, when you invest, then you want to have win trophies and to show something for that investment, and the patience that he has with everybody, you know, it's unbelievable, guys. For you, it was perfect.
And now it's the 100-year anniversary, as we spoke before. It's the centennial anniversary of PAOK. Would you like to be a part of the celebrations?
Why not? Someone needs to invite me, of course. You know, I cannot afford to say, "Hey, I used to play for you guys. I'll be there." It's about the proper way to. Of course, there are many more players who deserve to be there than me. I played for 1 year there. You have so many legends who gave their life and spent all their life in PAOK and play and score and make great legacy. Me, I play 1 year. I built my name elsewhere in England, but still, I had my journey with PAOK. And when the time comes for you guys to celebrate, whoever is in contact, you know, hit me up. We'll see. I'm here, 3 hours away.
I would be stupid if I didn't ask you your memories about your prime of your career, and of course after that we will discuss about your EA cards, which I protest against.
Me too.
And which moments do you recall in YouTube, let's say? Which moments of yours are stuck on your mobile phone and you watch them again and again? West Ham dribble, which is my favorite, the assist to Ronaldo.
Look, I love my goals and my assists, but you don't imagine me sitting and just going like this all the time, right?
Okay, showing your children.
Oh my God, I have 2 daughters. They don't care about that. But of course, it's nostalgic, you know. Sometimes you put the TV on, you see your goals. Sometimes you go on YouTube, you see the goals. You have the pictures around the walls, reminding you of the good time, of the goals, of the moments, make you feel good, but also makes you feel sad because it's over. Then I put mostly my beautiful goals. You know, most of the time I put only beautiful goals, yes. When I go bicycle kicks, scissor kicks, or something special, to understand that in my mind football is special, and you need to treat football as a special gift if you're going to become a football player. Sometimes I make also ugly goals, to show that football sometimes is not only art form, sometimes can be ugly as well. Sometimes some of the most important goals are the most ugly ones. A tap-in, or hit you in the nose or whatever, and you score, and then it's also a goal, right? It's the same thing. But I watch mostly my beautiful goals to remind myself sometimes if I forget, I was not that bad. Huh?
You consider yourself Manchester United fan, right?
Not only Manchester United, all the team I used to play, I have obligation to support them in a way of watching them, following them, you know, as much as time as I have to see how they finish, or whoever is playing, the coaches, etc.
How heavy is for a player having your background, having your childhood, having your, I don't know if you had any Balkan complexes like I have. When I go out, I feel, I believe I need to prove more than the others, my value. But anyway, I don't know if you carry this weight on your shoulders. But being a personal choice of Sir Άλεξ, how heavy was for a kid from Bulgaria back then?
It was heavy. It was heavy because now I'm reaching, after my journey, difficult journey, not always pleasant one, but now I am almost at the top of my mountain. When Sir Άλεξ came after me, It's like, we want you, we're interested, etc. And I'm like thinking to myself, that's it. That's it. That's the moment. That's the moment when I'm gonna be on top of my mountain. It's not gonna get bigger than that because United, the shirt, the badge, the trophies, the players, the manager. And then, of course, because that's how I am or I was, something what you just said, because we are coming from the Balkans, and now I was already established myself in England in the big league, which made me feel very proud. Coming from a small place, the journey, bam, now England, conquering, scoring goals, and now almost at the top with United. And when I reached it, I was thinking to myself, now it gets even more challenging, and I need to be even more responsible because they paid 30 million for me. In my mind, that was crazy. Again, thinking the same thing I was thinking with PAOK fans. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of money. That's crazy money. Now, if you ask me, when I see the money they're giving for some players, I was thinking the wrong things back in the day. So, but you see how sometimes you're in a period of your life where you're thinking about not the right stuff. I didn't need to be focused on how much money they spend on me because that was gonna, and it was like a break sometimes for me, or challenging. Like I was thinking, what do I need to do now to justify the money? Do I need to take the ball from my half and bring it to the other one and score a goal? Because that's what probably people expect of me. That's the responsibility, which obviously brings stress, expectation. Sometimes when you don't produce football, you're like sitting at home. I was sitting and thinking, my God, I need to do more. I need to do more and more and more all the time. And then your head is going to explode. So yes, I needed to prove myself every game, every training session, especially in the big teams at United. Every training session was a proving point, because if you don't prove yourself, they're going to challenge you, they're going to provoke you. You need to know how to react. You need to know how to be strong for yourself and prove your worth. If someone provokes you, you need to show that you're your own man and push back, which then shows that you belong in the dressing room of winners. Of course, dressing room full of big egos, winners that want to win, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you don't produce, the next one is coming. So it's very challenging, which of course brings a lot of stress. You need to know how to handle this. Back in the day, it was not so.
Did you get help for this? This is my question. Did you ask for help from anybody for managing this stress, this
Exactly.
mental changes?
Not so much back in the day. It was not so usual to have it and to do it. More than that, I don't know where your background as a dad, your dad, your mom, but for example, my dad was a strong type, that silent type, like look at you when you are good, look you like the same when you're bad, and you're just wondering what is going on. So keep your emotion to yourself. That's how it was back in the day. Show how man you are, which is completely wrong, of course. If you have a problem, go see someone, speak with someone. And after a while, realizing that, I went to a psychologist, of course, to speak, to share my thoughts, how I feel, why I feel, to find the answer. And I urge everyone who have a problems in the sport world, it doesn't matter which sport, because sometimes the stress is so overwhelming, it can destroy you. If you have problems, speak with your teammates, your coach. If your father or agent or your mother, you can speak with them as well if they know how to speak to you, to communicate. If not, professional help is there, because it's going to help. It helped me to get out of difficult moments and try to find myself again. But expectation, be it at the highest level, is nothing, is very different than when you play for a smaller team. All eyes are on you constantly when you're in the big teams. And if you are someone who always wants to prove yourself to your teammates, to the world, and you're obsessed, that also can lead to a lot of difficult moments. Your head is going to suffer, your thoughts are going to go crazy in your head. Then you need to know how to control all this. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult journey, like mine was from time to time.
How Sir Alex was managing these emotions, these personalities like yours? What makes him so special? Because in my opinion, and in more important people opinion, football is divided before the era of Sir Alex and after the era of Sir Alex?
Well, I worked with him for 4 years, right? But then you have someone like Giggsy, like Scholes, like Gary Neville, who work with him all their lives. So probably they are the one who can give you the more expert opinion about it. But, and of course, I caught him in his latest stage of his career management, because some of them were telling me story before that, when he was a bit more young. Oh, in your face, constantly. In your face, if you're not producing, if you're not doing well, he was up there and telling you and giving me that treatment that you don't want to see. So when I went to United, he was in his latest stage of management, but again, that fire in him was still there, of course. But now it was a bit more differently from man management, from perspective, because football obviously is changing constantly. You need to change with times as well, otherwise you die. And he was more of a man management to know, as I said in our conversation previously, when to push, when to put the brake, when to interfere, when just to hold and just take care of you. You know, you're leaders here, you're big players, that's why you play for United. You need to know how to handle the situation. His eye for this type of things was very good. And of course, sometimes, not sometimes, I think all the time, the team was above everyone else individually. The team was here. You can be the best player. If you don't behave, or you don't produce, or you don't act accordingly to the boss, the team is always above you. You're not above the team. The team is above you. And he was going to sacrifice everyone, everybody, whoever you are, if he doesn't think that you're going to be good for the team. And examples as many as you can from the past. So he had that side of him where he needs to be brutal. And sometimes during half times, after the games, it was crazy. You know, you can yell, you can use some words that I won't repeat here, just to provoke and get the reaction of you and just to show you who is the boss. Sometimes it was quite the opposite. I remember when we played Spurs and we were losing 2-0 at halftime at Old Trafford. And we are going in the dressing room and everybody's thinking, oh my God, oh my God, he's going to destroy us. Everybody's sitting
Beast
like,
mode.
yeah, everybody's sitting like this and he's coming and we're like quiet and he's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We just need one goal. All right? We just need one goal. That's it. And then we're going to win. And then he gets out. And we are like sitting there. You know, just silence a bit. And then obviously the more experienced one and the other one, yes, boys, guys, we just need one goal. You know, we have the quality, we have the players. Just one goal from the beginning, then we can score more. And what happened?
You scored?
Yeah, but what happened? How the game finished?
2-3? I don't remember.
4-2.
4-2.
Or even 5-2. I remember I scored the last one. Because this is the management and communication, sometimes reverse psychology. When you expect someone to yell and be in your face, then he calculates that maybe that's not the right approach. How he calculated, now that's a different story. But in this moment, where everybody of us was expecting him to kill us, he come in, calm, collected, all right, one goal. That's all we need, and we're going to score more.
I'm going to ask you something because, according to my personal experience, combining it with a statement that I will never forget for the personality of the words used of Roy Keane. He told that I need the fans to be fans again. I want them to stop eating chips in Old Trafford and support the team. I remember this. It was a Champions League game or something like that. And we had the experience. PAOK played last year against Mánchester United, and I believe that, of course, you receive the magnitude of the place. You receive the history tale of where you enter. But on the same time, during the game,
was it
not
quiet?
that much of first home. Our fans were, PAOK fans were heard more.
As always, yeah.
Yes, it's not I believe that if Manchester United of your period was playing in an atmosphere like Tumba, or I don't know, in Olympiacos or Bayer Leverkusen or Eintracht Frankfurt, for example, I believe you have no comparison.
So you're saying that the noise at Old Trafford when the PAOK played was not what you expected. It was more quiet.
Yes,
It's
it
more
was
quiet.
like a theater.
Yeah.
Yes, theater of dreams.
Yeah.
But actual theater.
Yeah, sometimes it is like this. Even when I used to play, it was the same. Sometimes you have that quietness during the games. If you ask me why is that, I cannot give you the right answer. Sometimes it's an expectation, sometimes it's boredom, sometimes you know you're gonna win, you're just waiting for the goal to happen. Sometimes you don't calculate that the game is that important to you that you wanna waste your emotion. And you just go there and watch. You wanna see the big players, you know, maybe take a picture after the game. It's different things. Sometimes it's apathy as well, maybe. Sometimes maybe you're angry with the team, they're not producing, then you're booing. But there's many occasions where, of course, especially if the team is losing and the last minutes of the game comes and then you show that you want to attack, the fans are there. Maybe sometimes it's also if the team is not producing attacking football, the fans are boring. They get bored because this is what you associate United with: attacking football, free-flowing, speed, going up the pitch, going down the pitch, all this dynamic happening. And maybe this type of factors sometimes play. It can be surprise to some people to go there and see this, and they'll be like, wait a minute, where's the noise? What is happening here?
Also the away team dressing room was a unpleasant surprise. Very small and very
well, look,
and very hostile.
The way a dressing room should be like this, because when you play away, the dressing room should always be an unpleasant experience because you want the away team not to feel comfortable. All right?
Understood, yes.
You want it to be like, let's just play and go out of here. But you want them just to feel in a hostile territory, you know? Of course, that's not always the case. Some stadiums have great dressing room, away dressing room. But here we go. You had the feeling that sometimes the place is quiet. It is sometimes. Different factors.
It was not so quiet because of PAOK fans, but
for sure.
Never mind. So we talked mainly and we talked a lot about the past, but you are a person that is still involved, as I see from your social media, at least, in football. You watch football,
yeah.
You follow teams, and let's forget that, of course, the legend of yours is Sir Alex Ferguson. Can we say more or less tactically the same thing for Guardiola right now, that football can be divided tactically in pre-Guardiola and post-Guardiola period? I mean, he changed a lot the game.
Of course, I am not a manager right now, and sometimes speaking about managers makes it strange. But again, I've been coached by managers, as I said, good, bad, great ones. And of course, yes, Guardiola was, and I think he still is, the guy who is he modernized football in a way, introduced many new things. I'm pretty sure that he is doing it now in his mind, at least, wanted to make something right. There we go. When they play United the other day, they lost. Now this is a lesson to him. Then he needs maybe to change a couple of things. But even when you're a great manager and you rule the world of football and you setting the standards, it comes a time when the other teams either start to copy you, learn from you, of course. Then you need to change something maybe. Then you need to find a new way to surprise people. I think he finds pleasure in this to show everybody how sharp he is in his mind and to improvise sometimes and find new positions of his teams and outsmart the opponent. But in football, as we spoke and give many examples, sometimes even if you're great experience as a management or the team or players, even someone with 2 games or not so experienced can beat you. You know, that's the irony sometimes in football. You never know. You never know.
What type of football you prefer right now? Modern football. You like the old school direct football? You like the short passing football? You like the build up? You like the long balls?
For me, ball on the ground. That's why you have grass, so the ball can move on the ground. Pass, move, pass, move. Football is patterns. Football is always about learning the patterns of how someone else is playing or your patterns of play. Is it just passing and move, pass, move, find the right place and the right moment, which basically, if you strip everything football, that's what football is. You get the ball, unless you're probably Messi or Ronaldo, I don't know, to go by yourself. Then you always look for someone else to pass the ball, and then you move up the pitch. or you defend together. So it's pretty simple. Football is a simple game for smart people, as I say, but you need to know how to think. So basically, it's pass, move, pass, move. And for me, for example, when we used to play Barcelona with United twice and we lost twice, they played the best football I've ever seen in my life. With Messi there, with Xavi, with Iniesta, with Busquets, with all great players. So they run circles around us, and we were like this. My neck was hurting after the game, you know, because they were just enjoying passing the ball. You need to find joy of the simple things in football also. To pass, the simple pass, 2-3 meters, pass, and feel the joy of it. Okay, yes, you can feel joy of taking out 2-3 defenders and feel good about yourself, and you look good, and then maybe you make an assist or score, that's also. But first find the enjoyment in the basic things of just passing the ball, and then move. Pass, move, because you play as a team. You don't play as an individual, you play as a team. So for me, that's always one of the most important things. No selfishness, take the ball, someone is in better position, pass him the ball. Look for the next space, and you move together up the pitch.
Which teams do you enjoy watching nowadays?
Back in the day, let's say Barcelona, or when Messi used to play there. These days, creative teams with someone who...
Paris, for example, Paris Saint-Germain.
Good example, but not only them. I cannot specify outside of my former clubs, when I watch them, who else I'm like waiting to watch. There's none. If there's a football on the TV, a good game, I'll put it on. If I know who is playing the players, I'll be like, okay, that's the creative guy. I can expect something from him. So it's worth watching the game, you know. Sometimes it's more about defense. If I want to see how they're going to defend again today against that opposition, because that's curious for me in that moment. So it's different things, different aspects of the game. So I can learn, I can see new patterns maybe, if Guardiola is playing his team. And I'm like, okay, is he going to come up with something new now? Or he just relax? United, of course, seeing what is going on, how they play, all different type of things depending what is on TV.
Enough with football. Enough with Balkans. Enough with everything. First of all, let's be together on that. Let's protest against EA and the cards they are producing. They're underestimating your skill.
I'm protesting a lot and saying, look, either you give me justice here and make my stats a bit higher, or we have a problems, Balkan problems, you know.
Okay, at least they consider you a hero.
A hero, but I'm like, okay, next time make me a legend or whatever, because I'm playing the game every damn day. Trust me.
Me too.
And sometimes that's serious now.
You put Berbatov in your team?
Before, yes. Now not so much, because we have so many better players, so I need to win games. But for example, on the serious note with the PlayStation thing in football, do you know how much that helped me in my professional career? I keep telling young boys and girls, the connection between the eyes, the brain, and the reaction is very important, because in football it's the same. You see, you need to react. You know, the communication between brain, the eye, and the legs on the pitch, or hands if you need to guard the ball, is the same when I play PlayStation. And when I was growing and going through my journey, back in the day, even before PlayStation, were different games, early imitation of PlayStation, with the buttons like this and the thing. You know how many games I used to play? I still to this day. And
I have one in my house because I cannot let it go yet.
It's arcade game, you know. So this was the beginning, then PlayStation and stuff like this. This helped me work on my coordination between eye, brain, and movement, and then help me on the pitch. In United, we had this board to prepare before training session. You have like a TV, and then you have a yellow ball pop up on the screen, and it starts slowly. So you stay like this, and then you don't move, and you just watch the screen. And then the ball pop up here, then you touch. Then you pop up here, you touch. So you need to follow.
And you were the best on that.
I was the best, you know, and I was very proud of this, you know,
because of video games.
Yes, not
partially,
only that. Partially video games. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. You need to know your limit. You need to find your balance. But also, when I was talking with my friends, getting into my apartment rooms, always trying to memorize what are the furniture, where is everything. Because in the pitch is the same. You watch where the teammates, where your position. You need to know where they are to memorize it. You know, anticipation. You can train yourself in a different ways, in a funny or silly ways. But don't care. If it's worked for you, do it. Trust me. So that's how in the field of games, even to this day, I still play, I still get angry, I smash my stick to the ground most of the time because someone beat me in PlayStation.
You play online?
Online, yes.
Do you imagine that this bastard on the other side of the screen can be a 14 years old Philippines boy that has 8 fingers in one hand and 10 in the
and
other?
I'm like this. You know where I used to play. You beat me here, and I get so angry.
And how can they imagine that they are playing the actual?
Yeah, they cannot. But if they're clever, they will find the connection because I put some clues there, here and there. But at the same time, sometimes you play some of the world famous players who are playing this day because they still play. This type of things are good for you. You can relax or not if you're too emotional, but don't overdo it.
You are a father now.
Yeah.
Being a father of 2 daughters is the punishment that you receive of being a so difficult person during your...
And now my daughter are giving me difficult times, but at the same time it's a blessing because obviously being a father...
I'm joking, right? It's a blessing.
I know. Blessing, but also a challenge because this is not fatherhood, father or mother, being a parent. It's one of the most responsible things. You are responsible for another human being, at least until they're 18, right? And my kids are in puberty now, so it's a tough period, daughters. Obviously, sometimes I'm not that cool. I'm not cool at all. Sometimes I'm cool, it's up and down, battle constantly. Also, but then I'm trying to teach them, look, life is not easy. You see me, you see your life, you feel comfortable. But I made it comfortable for you. So when I'm telling you a story of my life, how I did what I did, please listen because it's going to help you, because this is my house. It's not your house. This is my house. I built it. I pay for it. You're sleeping here temporary because when you're 18, you probably want to go explore life, right? But until that age, I'm responsible for you. So I'll be grateful if you listen to me from time to time. Yeah, be a rebel. It's normal. Rebelling. Go to war sometimes against your parents. But hope that you are listening and something is sticking to your mind. Because one day you're going to find out that whatever I was telling you is the truth and it's going to help you from my experience. And I truly hope that they're listening what I'm telling them because I can be very cool that, but also I can be very strict. But not because I try to look strict just for the strictness of it, but because I know that life is like this sometimes, especially for girls. You need to be strong, independent. You need to know where you're going in life. Find out what you want to do. The same thing I was telling you about here, I'm telling my kids. Don't wait and lose time. Yes, don't. At the same time, don't hurry to be a grown-up because everybody wants to grow up. And then when you grow up,
yes, you miss your child.
Yeah, you want to go back. You're not going back, trust me. You're going to one place that everybody is going. So don't be in a hurry to grow up. Be a kid. Enjoy. You have no responsibilities unless only to go to school, have good grades, and start to understand how life works. Build your right habits. We are here for you, of course, the parents, but don't expect everything to be granted to you like this. No. You need to show. If you have talent for something, go do it. I will watch. I'll support you, of course. But if you expect me to support you and you do nothing, that's not happening. It's going to be tough for me. I'll be crying inside, for sure. But I want to teach you the right habits in life that my dad or my man or my mother in their own way taught me. I'm different than them. I'm teaching you differently now. But it's the same lessons, just different words. That's it.
So I would use the title that I would want you to give the title in your life, in your frame. Put your frame on your picture. You are a leader by example, or you are a leader by experience, because you are a leader.
Well, I'm a leader by doing it my way. That's what my book is called as well, My Way. And in my way, in my journey, I met and I'm still meeting great people. I was privileged to work with great players, and I worked and played with unbelievable talent, met many people and still meeting many people around football, outside football, great leaders as well. And in all this interaction with different people, I built my way, you know. So don't try to copy anyone. See what works for you, find it, and in the process you're gonna find your way, you know, like I did mine. At least that's how I see it. So I try to show my qualities and my leadership, if we can say it like this, my way and the way I learned through my journey. I'm still learning, of course, because now I'm in a different environment.
Are you a happy man?
I am a happy man because I achieve my dreams. I have family, I have friends. Now my challenge, as I told you, is to find my other mountain or mountains and see if I can be able to climb them.
And this is my wish, to finish with that.
And I want this to happen. Is it gonna happen? Wait and see. I try my best with good people around me. I'm learning still, as I said, that's very important because I'm 44, but I still make mistakes. My daughters also can teach me stuff sometimes as it happens as well. So it's a two-way process. You can learn from everyone. And I hope that with that new learning, that I can achieve something and climb my new mountain. Is it going to be a manager in football? Is it going to be a businessman in some other adventures? I still need to learn. So now I'm again in the position of student to learn about other stuff.
Okay, Dimitar, I want to honestly admit that it was pleasure, honor, and pure joy to meet you 10 years after. It's always nice to meet people that you like, that you admire, that you...
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, as I said, next time when we meet, you never know, maybe I'll be the manager of ΠΑΟΚ. You know, you're interviewing me how my process is going, how I see things. Who knows?
I will be hard. One last thing. Because I need to say that this is the best gift I ever received from somebody in football.
Look at
a Tottenham shirt, not very iron because of the travel.
You don't need to iron it. It's a shirt. It's an authentic one. It needs to be dirty.
But this is not the important one. The important one is this.
Look at this.
Your signature.
Yeah. What does it say?
For Kyriakos, from Ντίμιταρ Μπερμπάτοφ. Thanks for everything. I want to say the story that you brought me. I told you I was a Tottenham fan. You told me that you had thrown away or gave away all of Tottenham shirts, and you brought me one Mánτσesτερ Γιουνάιτεντ shirt when you traveled to Manchester for a gala or something, which I received with gratitude. I thanked you a lot, but obviously on my face it was something missing. And when you left, even if you left with, let's say, not the most pleasant memories from ΠΑΟΚ, you sent me this, and it came to my office, and it was the biggest surprise. So, since it's already my favorite shirt and my favorite gift, I want to add also value, and I want you to sign once more for our meeting here. Mm-hmm. And let's say this is a 10-year challenge. 2016 it came.
First, a couple of things. Mm-hmm. Do you see how I roll? Do you see how I do things?
Yes.
I live, but I don't forget.
Yes.
Okay?
It's true.
Then, the other thing I forgot to say, I didn't have a chance to say goodbye to the fans of ΠΑΟΚ. You know, that's one of my regrets because it happened quickly. Summer, people are going away. So this is my way of saying thank you. Is this the camera? Thank you guys for the welcome. You make my day feel special, although I didn't think I deserve it. But it was one of the best welcoming that I have ever received in my life. Sorry I didn't say goodbye when I left, but now I can do it now and say thank you for everything. We're still brothers because we are the same. All right, every time I'll come watch. If you're looking for a manager sometime, you know, here you go. I'm here as well already. Good luck, support the team because you're unbelievable. You're unbelievable, honestly. And I had great time as well. Although Kyriakos thing, I didn't have the best time. I did have a great time, believe me, because you are more than welcome to me and everybody around me. So thank you again and good luck. So give me that shirt now.
Now, you have to sign in front Whatever you want.
So now you're gonna have the both sides.
Both sides, yes.
I think this is also a shirt that we won the cup with, if I'm not mistaken.
2007.
It's even more special shirt. All right, don't give it to anyone.
I would never give it to anyone.
You want me to write you something special?
No. Whatever you feel. If you enjoyed it's my first interview ever, don't forget it.
Good luck. Because you're starting something new, right?
Yes.
Now you are also in a different environment and different.
Which I enjoy a lot.
Yeah. So now you find your other mountain, in a way.
Let's see.
Good luck. From the first one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it a lot.
Great. There we go.